I'm either feeding my history or my destiny. Feeding my history pulls me into depression. So I think of new thoughts. I can renew my mind and learn to choose my thoughts carefully. Perseverative cognition is when we worry and ruminate, and our mind is wandering about negative thoughts. When I worked in education, I had a student I worked with in child development. She had autism, and I worked with her one day when she became fixated and stuck. She was perseverating. Um, and in an attempt to understand what she was telling me, because she didn't talk good and I couldn't understand what she was saying, the student began perseverating and she melted down. And for the next couple of minutes, everything was crazy. But it it became to the point where I needed to do what I could to help get her emotionally regulated by redirecting her. We don't have to be autistic to have perseverative cognition. No one is exempt from it. Psychology tells us 3 things we can do when managing stress. The first thing you can do when you can't stop thinking of something you cannot control, when that specific loop where your brain keeps returning to the same thing over and over and over, even though thinking about it more will not change anything. And you know that. And it keeps happening anyway. This loop has a neurological name, perseverative cognition. And it runs because your brain's threat detection system treats unresolved uncertainty as an open threat file. It needs to stay active until the threat is resolved. The problem is when the threat cannot be resolved, the file stays open indefinitely. So with my student, she was asking me what my children's names were because at one point she had met them at the recess and she forgot their names. But I couldn't understand what she was saying. And she was trying to make me understand. She kept repeating it over and over. And that's when the struggle became real. She had a major breakdown before I finally understood her question and told her my children's names. Then she was able to calm down. Here is what actually closes it. The first is a written containment. Write the thing down in one sentence, then write 2 columns. What I can control about this and what I cannot control about this. It is a neurological filing task. Your brain keeps the thought active in working memory because it has not categorized and filed it. The act of writing it gives your prefrontal cortex the categorization it needs to move the file from active threat to acknowledged and contained. Most of the time, the not control column is the most of the list. Seeing that in writing tells your brain something that thinking alone cannot. The second is a scheduled worry window. Tell your brain you will think about this at a specific time. Set a phone reminder for later. When the thought returns, redirect there. Research from Penn State shows this technique measurably reduces intrusive thoughts because it gives your brain a time and a place for the processing rather than requiring it to keep the thoughts active in case you forget. And the third is a full body reset before bed if the thought is keeping you awake. Stand up, shake your hands for 30 seconds, take 5 physiological sighs, and then say out loud, I have done what I can with this today. Not because it is true, but because your brain responds to completion signals, even when the situation is not actually complete. You are giving your nervous system permission to set it down until morning. It does not have to be solved tonight, but it does not have to be carried all night either. It takes action on your part for this to be successful. You have to execute the 3 steps.